All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Ryan. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play on 3rd down for the Falcons. 43 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and he'll be tackled at about the 35.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, here's Freeman. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. From the gun, it's Ryan. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Bobby Wagner in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Buying time to his left. Able to shake him off. Forced out to his left. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. On the move to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And a short gain down to about the 33. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Ryan. He's going to air one out into heavy traffic, and it's intercept. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
No, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. After the interception, here's Wilson. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner, forget starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. After the interception, here's Ryan. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2nd and goal, and the lone man in the backfield is Freeman. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. extra point put through by Succop. And that'll make the score 14-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They go lead option with Wilson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And he spins free. Penalty stings big time there, wipes away a very good return.
And they work out it so hard because the goal is give yourself some space for your offense to really work. Try and gain an additional first down outside the 20 or 25-yard line. Instead, this one's going to come back.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Pressure comes, he's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Cam Chancellor coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
Gun! Ready!
From the gun, Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. try to run with Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. So out come the Falcons now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Underneath here to Hill. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
On 2nd down, Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at the 23. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. Being chased out left. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. He hits Baldwin right side. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He lets it fly for Lockett. This is caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. 2nd and 10, it's Ryan again. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's Ryan to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Freeman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Ryan now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. A little 360. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. 3rd and 2. Now Ryan. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline? Grady Jarrett with the tackle. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They run it with Carson. Room here to run. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Robert Alford. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Elsewhere, second quarter in D.C., and the Redskins there out to an early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 34. Wilson operating from the gun. It's caught. Lockett. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield Success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Let's go get another one. Let's go get another one. Come on. Everyone's got 4. Go down. What? 380. What?
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, and it's a fumble. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Ryan firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Now punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Tackle made by Deidron Sinnott.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Let's go.
On second down, Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he loses the football a second time. And the Falcons say they have it, they do. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. This will be caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 32 yards. And the Falcons capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Extra point try now for Succop. Extra point up and good by Succop. And the lead is now 21-14. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. There he goes left side. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there with what they'll score a 106-yard return. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And we are tied at 21. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front. Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. To throw on second down, Ryan. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8.
21.
From the shotgun, Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
On 1st down, Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than 1 tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
A handoff to Devontae Freeman. Shedding through the defense. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
20. Check three. Right there. 54, right there. 54, South.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Ryan now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal.
21. 11. Left. Space.
They'll run here with Freeman. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
21. Hey, we got 4 down.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And he whips that one incomplete there. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
On 3rd and goal, Ryan. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
All right, field goal gets you the lead here. I mean, but I might want to just go ahead and go for something big.
Oh, come on, you got to kick it.
I mean, you got to be glad I'm not the head coach here, right? The whole team would want to revolt at this point.
And Suckup will put this one right through. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
And he's got his man on the comebacker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he can't hang on. that's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And now here is another interception. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Freeman again, a 1st down carry. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, Freeman. Freeman a 1st down and more. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Wilson to throw. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hey, you got 3, 3 down, 3 down.
Now Wilson. And this will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Wilson. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that will get them one closer. So down only 2 now. Still a chance to finagle their way into field goal range if they can get this onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3-and-out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, they'll run with Freeman. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers can run a quick slant or something like that.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
14, run it. 14, run it.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. One last shot for Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep down, and that's caught inside the 35. And he's in! Are you kidding me?
How do you give that up?
One of the most improbable ways to finish a game, and they do win it on the final play. This one is going to sting for a while. I mean, how do you let that happen defensively?
One stop.
One stop. I know that it's easy to say that from the booth, but
it is.
How do you let that happen, partner?
That's one of those where sometimes you get overzealous on defense, get out of your lanes, don't take care of your assignments.